when it's all said and done, you're going to find yourself alone and nobody caring about you because you never took the time to care about anybody else other than yourself. Oh, yeah, yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get right into the video. I'm going to be a little extra with the makeup since I've been slacking here lately. You know, got to make up for it. So, I'm going to go in with my color corrector first, LA Girl Pro. I have the orange one. So, we're going to talk about this article on Newsbreak. And I believe it's titled Man Defends Decision on not giving his seat up to a pregnant woman. So let me give you a little bit of the backstory. Basically, this gentleman in the story, it did say he works a 10-hour shift where he's on his feet all day. You know, people like to exaggerate a little bit with that. You know, like you don't get a lunch break, you know. But it could possibly, who knows, maybe he works in one of those places, you know, that's kind of like not afraid of the law, you know, illegally makes you work 10 hours with no 30 minutes to an hour lunch break. You know, you never know. You never know. It could be, this could be in China, you know. He could work in a sweatshop. Well, even they get to sit down, so. Okay. But yeah, you never know, so I'm not going to judge him or immediately label him out as a liar. But seems a bit excessive to me. But let's go ahead and continue. So he says that he works 10-hour shifts on his feet. Just okay, Crystal, stop. Let's be serious. Okay. And he's like, so he was basically, you know, exhausted, you know. And a pregnant woman got on the bus. There were no seats available. And you all know I applied my concealer first. So this is the LA Girl Pro. This is not the LA Girl Pro. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Warm Honey. I love their packaging, by the way. I think that's really cute. And I'm going to do the Warm Honey and LA Girl Pro. I'm going to mix that together. Okay. What was I talking about? Yeah, so, right, there were no seats available. So there were no seats available, and he was in the closest seat to her. So obviously she's not going to pick on anyone else. She's going to pick on whoever's closest to her. And she, you know, asked him, I guess, well, first it says in the article that he tried to ignore her. He had his headphones in and just pretty much tried to pretend like she wasn't there. Now, I'm guilty of this, you know. Every day on my lunch break, I have my little AirPods. They're not real AirPods, but they look like AirPods, so they're AirPods, Crystal's pods, okay? And I put them in during my lunch break because my lunch break is, you know, my time. It's my time. I don't want any unwanted conversations, you know. I want to be alone with myself in my lunch, period. So I get it, you know. He was just like, okay, I'm gonna pretend like I don't see her and have my little AirPods in and I'm chilling. But apparently she began to talk to the gentleman. So that was no longer possible to pretend like he didn't see her right there. Now, she proceeds to ask him, you know, could she have his seat? Now, the gentleman thing to do would obviously have been to give the lady the seat, okay? And I say this because any man on this video or watching this video, have you ever been pregnant? Okay. Have you ever been pregnant? That's the only question I have. And I'm not if you were born a male. Have you ever been pregnant? Okay, so if the answer to that question is no, then you don't know what it's like. I don't even know what it's like, and I'm sure it's not extremely pleasant. It could be not so bad. Who knows? But I'm sure it's not pleasant. I bet most men can't even deal with period cramps. Who knows how this lady feels? And you're carrying a whole nother person. A whole nother person. Make it make sense. So anyways, now, the legitimate thing to do would have obviously been to give up his seat. Now, his way of thinking was he didn't tell her, oh, she had to get pregnant. She said she was a single mom. So he was like, oh, I didn't tell you to get pregnant. I didn't tell you to make these life choices, so it shouldn't be my problem, or I shouldn't have to get up and give you my seat. But she didn't tell you to not make enough money where you have to ride the bus. Apparently he said he was in a car accident or so on and so forth. Okay, then we can look at it another way. She didn't tell you not to get the proper amount of insurance to where they'd give you a rental car. She didn't tell you that, not to live far enough away from your job where you can't walk there. She didn't tell you to ride the bus that morning or that afternoon. But the way life's set up, the way life goes, things happen. And I've never been pregnant. I've never been a single mother, but I can sympathize with them. I can sympathize with them and understand that things happen. And yeah, it could have been in our control, but people make mistakes. And a child, we can't even really consider that a mistake. Unless you want, did your mother say you were a mistake? Your mother made the same choice to have you. Are you going to tell your mother that? Or would you like your mom treated that way if she had to ride the bus? And I'm very baffled by this, okay? Baffled. And it kind of says something to just about men in general this day and age. It's just okay, there's no decency there. I'm a woman, and I would have got up. I don't sit at my job at all. Minus my lunch break, okay? I don't sit. But if I see this pregnant woman there, I'm going to give her my seat. That's just being, a respectable human being. Having some decency. Not being so utterly selfish, It's just wow. It's wow. And I think the worst part about it was that he just really didn't care. He had no remorse. He's like, I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you anything. I don't have to get up just because you're pregnant and this and that. It's just wow. It's where were you raised? In a barn? And we can't even say, because I know people, there's people in bars that was probably raised better than that. And we say an animal. That the terminology is you're an animal, okay? But it's just wow. It's just wow. He had no remorse, and there was people commenting. I'll insert. Apparently she started crying. It was the whole nine. And that's all I'm saying. It's that same mentality that a lot of guys are having. They feel they're owed something, or since women, a lot of if you look at the comments, they're since women want to be equal, they want to be equal now, and blah, 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 blah. And I feel guys love to use that excuse now, every woman want to be equal. It's a difference between what women, a lot of women that are into like women's rights and all that, it's a difference with what they're talking about as being equal. Okay, they're not saying, oh, you know, I want to be treated like a man, because I'm not a man. You know, I don't want to be treated like a man. But you realize back in the day, like, women weren't allowed to have certain jobs and they weren't allowed to have this and that. They're saying equal in terms of pay. Like, oh, I want to make this amount of money if I'm doing the same job as this gentleman, or I want to be treated like with some respect. You know, I want to be able to talk or have an opinion. It's not, oh, you can lift this box. I want to lift this box. Or, you know, oh, well, he can drive a forklift. Well, I should be able to drive a forklift too. That's what they're saying. Okay. But all women aren't the same. Me, I'm not getting up there. I don't even want to have to wear the construction hat, because here and there, I want to wear a bun. Okay? Or, oh, he's joining the military, so I want to be able to join the military. Some women want to fight for their country. Some women want to go shopping. Everybody's not the same. Just like it's some men that have a little bit more respect and is willing to get their lazy tail up so this woman can sit down, that's holding a whole nother life, where you can probably barely hold a newborn for an hour. Just lazy. So apparently someone else on the bus like said like worthless punk and then got up and allowed the lady to sit down. But I guess he thought he was gonna go home, tell this story to his family, and they were gonna be on his side. Jokes on him. They were disappointed as well. And of course, it's just like, you can go home and tell your mom that. You can go home and tell your mom that and think she's going to be on your side. Because what if it was her? Like, people need to start putting themselves in other people's shoes. You know? Like, what if that was my mom? What if that was my sister? What if that was my daughter? What if that was my son? In any situation, you need to start putting yourself in other people's shoes. That's why I don't follow the Black Lives Matter movement, just because it's a lot behind that. You know, I do believe Black Lives Matter, but I don't follow the movement. If you haven't heard about the owner, she done bought 4 huge houses and all types of stuff. It's like something funny with the money. It's a whole lot. I might do a video on that, because it's so much that goes into the Black Lives Matter movement, and that would be a bomb video. So yeah, I might do that. But yeah, like, it's like when people say Black Lives Matter, say, oh, well, all lives matter. It's like, no, that's not what they're saying. You need to put yourself in other people's shoes. Is your race going through these same problems? Are you having to deal with the same things that these people of this race or this ethnicity are dealing with? And if not, why are you making it about you? In this situation, this lady was pregnant. Her feet's probably swollen. You know, she's probably exhausted, because not to mention she's pregnant. She has to get on the bus. Who knows if she's working? She already said she's a single mother, so 9 times out of 10 she is working. You know, it's like you can put yourself in her shoes, but he can never really understand what she has to go through. And if she's just bursting into tears with this whole situation, who knows what's going on in her life right now. So that was so inconsiderate. It's baffling. So it's just like, what do you say to that? It's like, how do how do you sleep at night? So he goes home. He tells to his family, and of course his family is not on his side, because who would be? And I guess he puts a thread online, hoping for, asking for sympathy, basically looking for someone to understand where he's coming from, because nobody was on his side. I'm about to contour, you guys, and then I'm gonna do my eyebrows, eyeshadow, all that good stuff off camera. I'll still let you all watch, actually, but we're just gonna do a little time lapse. But I'm gonna do my contour first, and then we're gonna do that. So, of course, he was looking for sympathy and all that. And, some people, those type of people, were on his side. Like, yeah, he didn't owe her anything. He didn't have to get up. And then you had other people, with some decency that just thought that was just like very, very just inconsiderate. And it's just like, wow. And I just feel that a lot of men have that same mindset now. Like, you all want to be equal, so be equal. If like, and in that aspect, it's like, okay, then how about you bear the child? Then if you talk about equality, how about you birth it? Okay, not it. You know what I mean? You birth the child. If you want to talk about equality. Can you? No. So you should want to get up. You should want to get your tail up, because if your mother didn't do that, you wouldn't even be here. And then we wouldn't even have to talk about this. Like, we wouldn't even have to discuss it. The nerve. It's like the nerve of you.
Upsetting me in my home, girl, because we feel like, well, damn. If you...
But, yeah. It's just, in today's society, it's just so wild how people just don't care about anybody but themselves. And we've just gotten into this same mindset, like, dog eat dog. Like, I don't care anything about you. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care. It's first come, first served. You get it or you're gone. It's like, wow, just wow. So I don't even want to discuss this too much more. I'm going to do this time. I'm going to finish my makeup off camera. We're going to get into this time lapse. I hope you all enjoy the music. And I'll be back with my final thought. Yeah. with my final look. Alright. I said I was doing the most, but why does it still look basic?
Cut the cameras.
Okay, but yeah, I hope you all enjoy. You know, I don't do drag queen makeup. You know, I just don't. But, you know, I hope you all still enjoyed it. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the final thoughts. Okay, so with this final thought, I feel as though if we live our lives just acting like, oh, if that doesn't have anything to do with me, so I don't care, I don't owe you anything, you know, just overall just being a terrible person, it's gonna come back to bite you in the end. That's how life works, you know. You can't expect to excuse me, you can't expect to walk around treating people like something underneath your shoe and think that it's not going to come back. It's going to. You're going to interact with people that have that same nasty attitude that you have. You're going to be around people, you know, that treat you how you treat everyone else. And you're going to wonder why do I keep running into all these rude people? Why do I keep being surrounded by people that don't care about anybody else but themselves? Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? Because that's who you are. Show me your company and I can show you who you are. So continue to live your life that way if you like. But when it's all said and done, you're going to find yourself alone and nobody caring about you because you never took the time to care about anybody else other than yourself. And as far as this man, you know, you have no sympathy for me. Not for me. You know, it's 24 hours in a day. You said you had a full shift of 10 hours. Oh, okay. Well, if you don't like that job, then you got to look for another one. If it's too much on your feet, then you need to find a job where you're sitting at a call center all day. You know, there's options. Where her option, she has to do it for the next 9 months. Okay? And you can't tell me you know how that feels, because you don't. And all you had to do was give up your seat for just a moment. You were on your way home. Your day was almost done. Where she's pregnant. She's just going to be pregnant until it's time for her to give birth. But you didn't think about that. You thought about your feet hurt. You thought about, oh, her situation has nothing to do with me. But not once did how may she feel or what may she be going through across your mind. And a lot of men have that mentality now. And you know what? When you find a wife, you find a good thing. If you think for 1 minute having that mindset, you're going to find a wife or a good thing in your future, you got another thing coming. You might get the woman that don't care about anything other than your money. You might get the woman, you know, that have nothing else to offer because personally, you're selfish. Like who would want a person like you? You people are miserable. So with my message, you know, just try and be a little bit more sympathetic to the people around you. Try to be a little bit more observant, you know, and stop being so one-sided in every situation. Because at the end of the day, you're going to want someone to care about you. And just when it's time where you really need someone to care, they're not going to. So be real mindful of how you treat people, okay? Be very careful. All right, so that was my final message. I hope you all enjoyed this video because of course I enjoyed making it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know it's free and you know you want to. Notification bell if you will. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back at it again with another video. Thank you. Bye.